Okay, you've heard me talk all about the balance oil and the testing. And if you've done your homework so far, you're going to see that this company, Zinzino, has a health protocol. We call it the box, or you can call it the triangle, the three products. They are, of course, after you test out the balance oil, the Xtend and Zinobiotic, or we call it biotic for short. So you get your box, the biotic, the oil, and then the Xtend, or like I call it, the health triangle, where you want to be. So what three products you want to take and why. Okay, so think about this wherever you live. I'm sure you've heard of the blue zones. Have you heard of the blue zones? Comment below. I'm curious if you've heard of the blue zones. So what happens in the blue zones of the world is that most of the population there live to be 100 years old and very low amount of sickness and disease. So if you think about all those things and what they eat and all that, it is based off what we've got right here. So I've talked a little bit about these products in the past, but not a whole ton. So this, if you think about this is a product that 97% of those that test out with the balance test that I've talked about in previous videos, you find out that 97% of those within 5 months are in balance. And that is this little bottle of oil. So you can look it up, what exactly is in it. There's a few different formulas, so I'm not going to cover each one. There's a vegan formula. There is the last one that I took. Oh my gosh. It was like, you guys, I just got the giggles off it. But it was like taking fish, straight up fish, eating the oil off the fish. And of course, my dog loved licking the spoon. I was just pumped, like she loved it. So with that said, my favorite so far has been the lemon one. And now tomorrow I'll start with the orange lemon mint flavor. And then, so that is your balance oil to get your body back in balance. You'll find that, you will start feeling better in some way, shape, or form. I have no clue what you have going on with you when we're 50 plus. So what happens is that things just go out of wonkers like they did for me, right? Like boom, things happen. Pretty soon I had, 3 teeth infected, was going up into my jaw, and it was very painful. Then I ended up, after all of that was said and done, right in the midst of the third, I think, or was it between the second and third? I don't remember, you guys. It was just one thing after another. I ended up with, thinking about it, chicken pox, whatever you get after chicken pox, and was totally shocked. But I at least had some natural remedies that helped clear that up pretty darn fast. And then I started thinking, oh man, I need to get things under control here. Start looking at some very healthy alternatives. And so you guys, so when I was talking to myself like this, having this little self-talk, I was eating pretty darn healthy. There's things that at times I would have sugar, but they were natural sugar. They were not your high fructose corn syrup crud. We'll just leave it at that. But that still didn't, like, I cut out a lot, but I was still having some. And so after that, I couldn't figure out why the side of my mouth was like swollen all the time. And I'd be like, oh my God. And by the end of the day, it was really, really bad. And so my regular dentist said, no, he won't take x-rays because I need to go back to the oral surgeon. And the oral surgeon, when I went in twice, told me everything was fine. It was just because of the tooth, the way it was sewed up, everything where the tooth came out, that they cracked that tooth coming, or so-called tooth coming out. You're going to just have a lot of inflammation, and you had an infection in there after all those other 3 infections, mind you, many rounds of antibiotics. And Fenley was like, that's enough of this. This is just wildly crazy. I went and found a third dentist. And he did a whole x-ray of my mouth and found my jaw was broken in multiple places. Yeah, I probably should go back to that oral surgeon. It's been about a year now, and tell him that I could not get the implant put on there until a year later, which I've kind of been letting it go and kind of letting it rest because of being so sick after. I thought, no, I'm not going to mess with that for a hot minute. I'll let that heal. I'll let it be good. And so you guys, with all of that said, and then I fell and broke my arm in August. So I was like coming off about 4 or 5 months of like finally starting for this to feel good, right? Finally, maybe not even that many months, but some months in there. I was playing with my dog and I fell running sideways with her. Boom, down I went and hit my head on the wall, had a concussion, and that has finally, when I started this stuff, like I can tell I'm feeling really good now. Yeah, I can tell there's times here and there that like when I get tired or I'm thinking, fast, I'll say a word that totally doesn't belong in the sentence, but I think sometimes people just have that. So, but regardless, I was excited to start these products. There it was. I was excited to um, get going on these products and try them. And so this one was my big one because of all the inflammation that I had going on with the infections and everything. I was like, okay, I can tell that I needed some help. And then also along with that, being on all the meds and everything, I was like, this needed to get in there and help me clean up my gut. And I'll tell you, 3 days in, I could feel a difference with this. And some people take longer, but you guys, it's got the pre, pro, and postbiotic along with fiber, like only 5 milligrams or 5, is it milligrams of fiber? 5 grams, sorry, 5 grams of fiber. And I split this, guys, it's a super little scoop. I wish I could have showed you, but I think it's like, don't quote me on it, but I think maybe a teaspoon. And I'm only taking a half in the morning, regardless, half a scoop at night, half a scoop in the scoop in the morning and half a scoop at night. Come on, Sue. And then the mineral vitamin immune supporting product. Yes, like your vitamin. This you can take 2 to 4 once you're over 12. And I found 3 was my sweet spot for feeling good. We'll see how I feel if I need to, reduce it down once I get my inflammation balance. So like I had said in my video yesterday, I went in and I figured you guys are probably watching all these videos and they're kind of mixed up just because of when they go out. I kind of do batch bunches. So I was like, oh no, you're thinking it's this date. But anyway, regardless, it was my 6-week mark when I went in and had my test done. And it's going to be fun to see the numbers in about a week. And I'll give you guys the update on it. But going on that, the health protocol are these 3 things. So your pre, pro, and postbiotic along with fiber. This is your vitamin mineral immune support complex, and then you got your inflammation for all things good within the body, right? Have fun with that. So, and then again, it was based off the what they like to call the blue zones of the world, right? And this is kind of like going back to the basics, to the products that are good for you coming from the good old earth, that are full of nutrients. And we won't get into that topic. I know sometimes I'm having topics, that can get pretty excited with people about, well, there's no minerals or vitamins left in them. No this, or it's so depleted. Well, yes and no. So we won't go there today. But okay, so with that, so when your omega-6s are high, those are all your seed oils. It can come from multiple different things like your inflammation, your stress in your life, your body's not just inflammation in general, but then certain health challenges. If you have a certain health challenge within an organ, you can have high stressors off that too, and a whole lot more. So hormones can cause inflammation. We know that it can cause gut inflammation like super fast, like cortisol spikes. Get me going on that one because their Viva product, I love taking that every so often. I haven't really, I'm really, you guys, so surprised that I don't need so much hormone support. that, you know, once this is starting to come into balance, I'm feeling like I might need that Viva once in a while, but it's like I don't need it every single night. The only beautiful part about it is with the ingredients in there is when you take them over time, they help you even more. So I've kind of been trying to do at least one of them a night just because it's probably good for me overall anyway. So if you have questions, feel free to comment below or find me over in Facebook or text my phone and just say, hey, want to learn more, whatever you're comfortable commenting on the cell phone number below. And I'm here for you. Absolutely love these products. So there you have it. Enjoy. We'll be back again soon. Have a wonderful day.